Hello, everybody. Welcome, everybody, and welcome to Vote TV live right here on YouTube. Thank you very much, and shout out to all the viewers and our Vote TV YouTube subscribers. Okay, allow me to also give a shout out to my followers on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, those who have also subscribed to my website. This is the top story today, the story of our Kenyan sister, Margaret Nduta Macharia, who has been sentenced to death in Vietnam. Why? Because of drug trafficking. Margret Nduta was arrested in July 2023. News sources have reconfirmed. And matter of fact, she was supposed to be executed today. Vietnam has some of the most strict anti narcotics laws in the world. Matter of fact, in Vietnam, if you're arrested with only 100 grams, say, heroin, cocaine, or other drugs, only 100 grams can put you on that electric chair. Let's get back to the Margret Nduta story. I've been covering this story the whole day, and we're gonna look today at the chances of Margret Nduta being transferred to Kenya. Okay? Thanks God, Kenyans on social media, especially TikTok, they are very active. They push this case. On Saturday, some even went to the streets to protest, requesting the country's president, William Ruto, to intervene. That is exactly what happened. They intervened yesterday. They filed a petition. An open letter was sent to the president, and there was also an official statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Office. Now, we're going to start looking at the specifics of Margret Nduta's case. And I've been digging in, doing my research online of what can happen to you if you're caught trafficking drugs in Vietnam. So I'm going to come over here. So by the way, that's on my screen right now. Those are two images. One of the images is Margret Nduta appearing in court. The circled image is when Margret Nduta was arrested. Okay? So those are the two images that I've used on that thumbnail. Let's move on. I'm going to come over here. Let me remove that first. And then I'm going to add this screen over here. Let me come over here. We're going to, there you go. Now the next slide is loading up. Thank you. There you go. Amazing. Okay. The first thing that I looked into is what are the chances of Margret Nduta to be transferred from Vietnam to Kenya. And I found this document right here. These are the facts. Kenya does not have a prisoner transfer agreement with Vietnam. This absence of a bilateral treaty means that Kenyan nationals convicted in Vietnam cannot be transferred to serve their sentences in Kenya. And by the way, that was posted on Tuco website. But I kept on researching. And I'm going to keep on presenting these facts on the screen for you to read and be my guest as well. You can just drop a comment and share your thoughts. Now, I then found this very interesting analysis. Let me share this. This is actually from Facebook. I found this interesting analysis on Facebook by a page called Tupo KE. And the headline, why the Kenyan government can't help Nduta. So we're looking at the fact that Kenya does not have any prisoner transfer agreement with Vietnam. That's number one. Bearing that in mind, let me read this out because it's very well explained. And by the way, don't get me wrong. All of us wish the best for Margret Nduta Macharia and her family. We've seen the news, the mother crying, the family is affected. Margret Nduta said that she never knew that she was carrying drugs in her bag. We don't wish this to happen to anyone. But let me first of all read what Tupo KE posted on this comment thread on Facebook. Why the Kenyan government can't help Nduta. Number one, the Kenyan government has no treaty agreement with Vietnam that allows for prisoner to be transferred to Kenya. There is no bilateral agreement. That's number one. Number two, as of now, there is no Kenyan embassy in Vietnam that could negotiate the transfer of Margret Nduta. Man, by the way, all these are facts. Okay? We don't have a Kenyan embassy in Vietnam. Now, bear in mind, Margret Nduta was arrested carrying 2 kilos of cocaine. That's 2,000 grams. Number 3, Vietnam's law and the nature of the crime Nduta committed have severe penalties compared to other countries. This makes it very difficult for the government to intervene unless they want the Vietnamese government to send their own criminals to Kenya to face justice there. I want to actually underline that, the last statement. Let me read that out again. Vietnam's law and the nature of the crime Nduta committed have severe penalties compared to other countries. That's true. This makes it very difficult for the government to intervene unless they want the Vietnamese government to send their own criminals to Kenya to face justice there. Tupo continues, this completely shuts down Margret Nduta's chances of getting help from the Kenyan government. By the way, this comment was posted before the Kenyan government intervened and released a statement. Let me go to X, and I want to show you something. Let's have a look at what the Principal Secretary for Foreign Affairs posted on X. Here we go. Honorable Korea said, I had a telephone conversation this afternoon with my counterpart, Her Excellency Nguyen Minh Heng, the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of Vietnam, over the matter of Margret Nduta. I conveyed to Madame Heng the anxiety of the Kenyan people on the impending execution of our national and reiterated our request for a stay of execution to allow our two countries to find a path to resolving the issue. I am grateful for Madam Heng's assurance that our petition is under consideration by her country's authorities. In the meantime, our mission in Bangkok is actively following up the case in situ. So remember, Kenya doesn't have an embassy in Vietnam, but there is an embassy in Bangkok. So everything is being run over by the Kenyan embassy in Bangkok. I'm also going to point out at the open letter that was written by Senator Richard Onyonka from Kisii County, who wrote this petition to the President of the Republic of Kenya, William H. Ruto, pleading for clemency and asking for Margret Nduta to be returned to Kenya and to be sentenced in Kenya. Let me read this out. He wrote, or he said, wrote to President William S. Ruto to intervene and free Nduta, which is a hashtag on Twitter right now, from the jaws of death in Vietnam. Margret Nduta Macharia is a Kenyan, and it will be correct if she was repatriated back to the country to be tried within our laws over the crimes that she's being accused of. So, you see right here? That's a key point, right? And I want you guys to take notes. Okay, you know why? There you go. Margret Nduta Macharia is a Kenyan, and it will be correct if she was repatriated back to the country, back to Kenya, to be tried within our laws over the crimes that she's being accused of. Which means even if Margret Nduta is going to be transferred from Vietnam to Kenya, she will still have to face the legal consequences in Kenya and tried in Kenya. That is what, let me go back to what Tupa posted. Let me go back here. Tupa said, this makes it very difficult for the government to intervene unless they want the Vietnamese government to send their own criminals to Kenya to face justice there. For Nduta, the God of the 11th hour showed up. For Nduta, the God of the 11th hour showed up. Nduta was supposed to be executed yesterday at 8:30. I think, was it 8:30 p.m. or 8:30 a.m.? I'm not sure, but you can just drop a comment. It never happened. There are lessons to be learned from Margret Nduta's story. This story is all over the place. On Facebook, on TikTok, on Twitter, on YouTube. It's a dominating story right now. all I'm going to say today as I conclude this long day here at VoTV, we wish the family of Margret Nduta God's peace that surpasses human understanding. We wish and pray, and will continue to pray, that Margret Nduta will be taken back to Kenya, where she'll face justice in her own country. Something else I made very clear on my TikTok live today. The only person who can tell her story is Nduta. We don't know what happened. We don't know. There's a lot of speculations. How did she get to Ethiopia? What happened with the luggage? She owns her story. And I hope and pray, and I wish for Nduta that one day you will tell your story. Thank you very much. That's VoTV News. If you have any questions, you can contact VoTV through our VoTV WhatsApp number. It's actually on the screen. You can also support this platform. You can support our channel. And thank you very much for finally reaching 41,000 subscribers. We want to bring the plaque home this year. So just keep on subscribing, sharing, and please, please take lessons from Margret Nduta Macharia's story. I love you. Spread love. Bye-bye.